Hi everybody and welcome back to Economics A-Level here on YouTube. This video continues looking at disequilibrium in markets, but this time we're looking at excess demand. If you want to watch the video on excess supply, click in the top right hand corner now and that'll take you to that video. If you're not already familiar with equilibrium price, there is a reminder on the screen now of what that is, but you can also click in the top right hand corner which will take you to the video that I've made on price equilibrium. For now though, we're going to have a look at what disequilibrium is and relate that to excess demand. Disequilibrium occurs in a market when there is a mismatch between levels of demand and supply. And excess demand occurs where, at a given price, there is more demand at that price than there is supply. And we call this a shortage occurring in the market. There is a shortage of supply that cannot meet all of the demand for that product or service in the market. We can see excess demand illustrated on the following graph. At a price of P1, there is Q2 demand, but only Q1 supply. So at a price of P1, there's only Q1 supplied compared to Q at price P because of the profit incentive. And of course, there's Q2 demand at that P1 compared to the Q at price P because the good will be less expensive for consumers and their incomes can go further and therefore more consumers can purchase that product. But if the price was set at P1, there would be an excess demand of that difference between Q2 and Q1 because at that price P1, there's only Q1 suppliers willing to supply, but the demand at that price is Q2. So therefore we have excess demand or a shortage of supply at that price. So if we look briefly at some of the causes for excess demand, one of them, which we'll look at in a separate video, would be maximum prices. So this is where the government intervenes in a market and sets the price permissible for that good below the equilibrium price if it wants the maximum price to have any effect. And once that maximum price is set below the equilibrium price in that market, it causes excess demand because that lower price will generate Q2 demand, but there will be fewer suppliers willing to supply at that maximum price. So we'll look at that in a separate video. Another cause of excess demand would be what we call a transition problem for the free market, where if there is a lot of demand for a product, in the short to medium term, supply may not be able to meet that level of demand, and therefore the amount of supply that's available in relation to that level of demand may mean that there is excess demand until the market adjusts and increases supply through the rationing function of price. To get back to equilibrium price, levels of demand and supply have to adjust. There has to be a contraction of demand in the situation of excess demand, and there has to be an expansion of supply in order that the free market can reach that equilibrium. And this is through the rationing function of price. What will happen in a situation of excess demand is the amount of excess consumers that want the product, the difference Q2 to Q1, means that they're going to compete with each other to try and get those products. And the way in the free market that they compete for these products is that they're going to outbid each other in terms of the price in order to acquire the good. So those consumers who have deeper pockets are going to be able to outbid those that are not able to afford the good at a higher price. And therefore some consumer surpluses will be eroded as that price rises back to equilibrium. This therefore causes a contraction of demand, and we say that demand is rationed. This is one of the three functions of price which will be looked at in a separate video too. At the same time, this increase in price incentivizes suppliers to supply more because at higher prices, all other things equal, there will be increased levels of profit. And as this expansion of supply and contraction of demand occurs, the market eventually restores back to equilibrium at P and Q. In the next videos, we'll have a look at what market clearing is in more detail, and we'll have a look at minimum and maximum prices, price floors and price ceilings, because they all relate to excess demand, excess supply and equilibrium price. Don't forget, if you want to see any specific videos made, just to write in the comment section below, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.